Hey, we're fucking back. Enjoy the episode.
Hey, good morning, fuckers. Welcome to another day at the Daily BM. We are back live and in your face. Well, not actually live, but we're alive. Right, Mike? No?
I guess if that's how
Speak for yourself. You feel dead on the inside?
No, I'm alive and well.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel fucking great. But what I don't feel fucking good about, I'm going to jump right into this, and this is going to start off as we're back as a bitch fucking session, because people fucking suck at driving in this state. Period. We live in Florida, and they suck. All weekend, dude, I had literally dealt with people who can't fucking drive a car, and it even rolled over into this morning. And I'm going like
Really?
this.
Tell me more.
Okay, so I got a fucking question for you. I'll start with one thing. Okay? Here it is. You pull up to a four-way stop. Who goes
Yes.
first?
Me.
Yeah, fuck you. That's what I fucking wanted to hear. I said the same thing to my wife, and she said, "No, asshole. There's a fucking procedure." And she's right. I hate to say it.
It is the person that gets there first, and the person to the right. If you
Thank
get there
you.
at the same time.
So if you get there at the same time, person to the right, and then what direction does it go in?
Clockwise.
Thank you. Fuck. Why is that so hard for anybody in this fucking state to understand? I just don't understand it, man.
Because we have a bunch of illegal immigrant drivers that actually haven't taken their driving test, and they're just driving without a license or insurance.
You went there.
Maybe. I don't know.
Did ice taste, baby?
I'm just saying.
Hey, man, in Florida, that shit's running rampant too, man. They're fucking going. I mean, it's like fucking Gestapo shit happening down here, man. They're going after him like a mother effer. But no, man. I mean, seriously, the people. Okay, so this morning I pull up to a four-way stop. This one asshole, like literally, just flies right through it. Like, hey, fuck all y'all. Takes off. He pulled up dead last and just shot through it.
Sorry about that.
That was you thinking about it too, you dick. It was probably you. Hey, matter of fact, I think it was a blue fucking car. But no, seriously. So this asshole goes through it. I'm on my way back from my destination where I was at earlier, and everybody sat there and stared at each other. And I'm like, somebody make up your fucking mind. We all got here at the same time. Somebody just go. They're all just sitting there. Nobody puts their blinker on to turn or do whatever. It drives me fucking nuts. Second one. Okay, you're on the interstate, right? You're in the right-hand lane. You're going the speed. You're going with the flow of traffic. So let's say you're going 70, 75. A person is coming on the on-ramp, coming onto the interstate, and you're like parallel. You can see that they're accelerating to get on. What do?
Match their speed, flick them off, and push them off the road.
You take them to the fucking rail. Bam! Eat a
Not on my
boom.
interstate, motherfucker. Not
Welcome
on
to
my
Florida,
interstate.
bitch. Anything goes, Florida.
No access. Access denied.
Bam! Take them to rail. Your car's fucked up, but hey.
No,
but seriously.
you're either supposed to slow down and let them in, or move over to let them in. But either way, you let them in.
Or you speed up and shoot past them so they can get in behind you.
Dick move.
It is a dick move, but I mean, if you're there and you've got to really make a decision, I say you slow the fuck down. But it also depends on if somebody's coming up behind you hauling ass too, because then you don't want to create an accident behind you.
Because what happens if you accelerate real hard and the person behind you doesn't realize there's someone trying to merge in, then you cause an accident behind you.
Well, how in the fuck can you be so blind when it's right there in front of you, to the right of you? I mean, it's like right there, front right. If you're behind somebody,
I'm just saying. Lead by example.
But at least you answered it correctly.
Let people in.
I bet you
Slow
if you
traffic
asked
down,
that,
let people in.
I bet if you asked that to 10 people, probably only 2 people would get it fucking right in this state, because they're fucking morons in the state of Florida learning how to drive.
That would be less them not understanding what to do, but the language, because they only speak Spanish.
Here we go again. Ice, baby.
This episode is
Thank
brought
God.
to you by Duolingo.
Duolingo. Learn to speak Spanish if you come to Florida. Hey man, all joking around aside, man, there was that dude that fucking killed somebody out west, I believe, right? Or was it here? No, it was here, wasn't it? That driver that he didn't speak
in the big rig.
Yeah, he was just driving a fucking semi truck.
Decided to make an illegal U-turn in the middle of the interstate.
That's pretty scary, bro.
I
mean, realistically,
and then they killed. He wiped out a whole group of people in a van. Yeah, that was sad.
Dude, it killed he decapitated everybody in that fucking thing, dude. I mean, it took the whole
entire.
And
he just kept going. He's like, man, fuck it.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, well, I got a delivery to make.
My bad.
My bad keeps going. Just takes a fucking U-turn right in the middle of the damn interstate.
They should have stopped, I guess. Didn't they see me a big ass truck making a U-turn?
I mean, that's my whole thing. How the fuck did the driver not see it? I mean, to hit it at that rate. Have you seen the video of when he hit?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, at that rate of speed, how did he not see that thing turning? I mean, it's a fucking semi-truck for fuck's sake.
He probably saw him, and well, what happened was is the guy was in the right-hand lane to make a wide U-turn in order to be able to make the U-turn. So he was in the right-hand lane, and then he turned into the left-hand lane, and that person probably wasn't paying attention because they were probably playing, Angry Birds on their phone from 1995, and they looked up, and they were like, "Oh shit, we dead." Maybe they didn't even notice it happening. They probably did. I mean, how many people do you see buried in their phones when you're driving?
All the time.
While they're driving.
All the fucking time. And not only that, it's like, have you seen them that not only would they have their phone in their hand, they also do hey, let me just drive with my kneecap while I'm doing the other shit. You ever seen that one where they got their leg up on the fucking steering column and they're using both their hands texting? So they're driving with their knee.
It may not be their knee. They might have like the auto driving feature, like my car has.
I thought you were going to say their dick. I was like, that guy's impressive.
or woman these days, because you don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Girls have dicks these days. Hey, we talked about that this weekend. Let's touch on that for a minute. No, not you and I.
I don't remember talking to
my wife and I. So we had a conversation about it because I said, "Listen." Dick? Exactly, right? That's what I told her. I was like, I said, you might as well own it now so we can get a divorce if you fucking lied to me, because she knows how I feel about it. And I'm probably going to catch a lot of heat for this, but I'm going to fucking say what I'm going to say. All right. Here's my thing. Because I told her, I was like, listen, there's a lot of trans women now walking around that actually you could mistake for full on female. Like, they're hot. You got to admit, you can't tell that they were a fucking dude, right?
Okay.
My question is would you be pissed off if they kept that from you and you found out a year later after you've already done some things with them? Yeah. Think about that one for a minute. Let that soak in for a second. No pun. But I'm just saying, because here's my thing. While you're thinking about,
so
you're saying,
hold on a second.
You ready to talk?
I've got to get some clarification topics here.
Sure.
So they've had full like reconstructive surgery to create a vagina.
That is correct. And they're hot. Now, don't get me wrong. They're fucking hot. You can't tell they had an Adam's apple. Nothing, dude. I mean, it looks like a hot fucking chick. Like, you would say, holy shit, man, I would hit that when you're walking around. Had nice ass, big ass, fake titties. I mean, the whole 9 yards, right? And you've been drilling it for a year. You've been drilling it for a year.
Listen, we're cool, but don't ever tell anybody else that shit ever, and we're moving.
We're cool, but don't tell anybody that you're a dude.
Okay, Adam. We're moving, Adam. Let's go.
Okay, Adam. Okay, Adam. He's like, then all of a sudden he goes, okay.
I mean, I don't even know like how that would possibly even come up like a year fucking later. Like, that's like,
okay, so that begs the question, though. That begs the question. Do you think it's their moral responsibility to fucking tell you that they were a different gender before?
See, I'm a different age demographic, though. I'm 49. Like, I don't want to have kids. I don't want to have any situation like that at all. So there's different components. But yeah, I mean, personally, yes, 100%. I think they should tell you that they're biologically a man. But especially if they can't have kids and you want to have kids, because that'd be kind of fucked up. You go to the fertility doctor and be like, well, I found your problem. He's got testes.
your mom has a dick.
They're inverted.
It was inverted. But no, seriously. So you don't think they have, you do or don't think they have a moral obligation to tell you as they're dating before you get to that level?
I think that if you've gotten a year into a relationship and that hasn't come up in the conversation at some point, you've got bigger fish to fry.
Okay, elaborate. What do you mean? Why? What would make you say you got more bigger fish to fry?
There's just so many steps in conversation before you get to that point where it's a year in. I mean, you'd have to have like conversations about kids and families and growing up. And I mean, that would be such a hard backstory. Like you would have to fabricate so much information about your backstory in life from the time you were a man to the time that you were transitioned to a woman, that your whole relationship would be built on lies. So at that point, you're talking to a person that would have no moral fiber. You know what I mean? Like when I was dating my wife, like we saw pictures of each other as kids. We talked about our childhoods. We talked about, all sorts of things that are relevant to building a meaningful emotional relationship with somebody. So I don't know how you'd be able to not tell somebody and keep all that past a secret. I mean, would you just be like, before your like age of 18, you had no history? Like, oh, everything got lost in a fire.
My dick just happened to burn off. All right. But,
no, I mean like all your childhood memories and your stuff. And like, like you introduce them to your family and your parents and they just be like, that's Cynthia. Like she's been Cynthia since, 2012. What? Wait, what do you mean since 12? Oh,
she used to be
before that it was his name was Carl and he had a 9-inch banger.
9-inch at 12? Fuck, dude. Why wouldn't he keep his dick? Jeez, he could have made some money off that.
Blood flow. They had to get rid of it. It was just taking up too much real estate.
So
Ron Jeremy showed up, said there can be only one, swing, and hacked it off. I don't know.
So my next question is this then. Okay. So let's just say it wasn't a year goes by. Obviously, you answered that the moral compass of them.
I mean, more realistically, the situation would go like this: you're sitting at a bar, you're hanging out, hot chick walks over, sits down next to you, she's fucking smoking hot. Okay,
cup checker. No, I'm sure.
You buy her a drink and you throw a little Viagra in there, see if there's any fucking response. Even though that's illegal, go to jail. You just got to be careful. These days.
Hold on a second. Let's back up. Let's spike her fucking drink so I can go to prison for spiking her drink just to see if she has a dick. Okay,
just a little bit of Viagra. See if there's a response.
Mental note,
response. You're like,
listeners, do not listen to us for advice for dating. You will end up in prison. All right.
You're like, okay. So the Viagra had no response. No wiener rose. So you like pass that first milestone hurdle. You're having this immaculate conversation. She's telling you things about sports teams that you didn't even know existed because she's deep into sports. She's telling you like, the best places to go play golf, like things like, best places to have wings.
Mike's gonna start interrogating them with male topics just to see how much they know.
she's just throwing down the knowledge that you're like, wow, this is fucking crazy. Like, I did not.
Man, I love it. It's the woman of my dreams. Is it really though?
Yeah. Then it's like totally doesn't seem neurotic at all, and you're like, wow, this is awesome. Like scoping out other chicks with you while you're sitting there, like, yo, what's up? And then, then all of a sudden, like you've ignored all the red flags because you're like, she's fucking hot. And those
she's fucking hot. You're like, I'm just thinking of fucking her.
Down here in Florida, we used to breast implants. So we used to have a doctor called Dr. Diaco.
I remember that, dude. Yeah, he used to be on the radio.
And Bubba the Love Sponge, you used to call them Diacos. So, she's sporting like the perfect Diacos, man-made, manufactured perfection.
No shit, right?
You and I are like solid 4s. So if she's racking a 10, there might be a problem there,
Yeah, if I'm scoring a 10, it's got to be a dude. That's all I'm gonna say.
So
because
so now you wound up the next morning, like, you wake up next to them and like everything was amazing, and you're like happy as fucking can be, and they look over like, you just fucked a dude, fag. You're like, no, I was lied to.
All right, so this is my question.
I just became accidentally gay. Next thing you know, you open up the front door. There's your gay pride, like, starter pack shows up. Like, you've been, welcome to the club. No one will accept you.
Stupid. Oh my God. Listen, dude, all I'm saying is this. Okay, so let's say you meet this hot chick, right?
Right.
And you start talking, you're hitting it off pretty good.
Okay.
All right. So, do you feel like, again, they are morally obligated to tell you, like, let's say, for instance, especially if it's going to go home for sex, or before she says, hey, I would like to take you on a date, you know what I mean? Do you feel like they would be morally obligated to tell you that they used to be a man? I mean, it's a personal opinion. I mean, you don't. It doesn't make it. It doesn't mean it has to be right, because other people might be like, no, they don't have to. I'm just wondering what your personal opinion is.
My personal opinion is that they should tell you.
Bingo. And let me elaborate on mine.
Okay, go ahead.
And then we'll get to you. All right, because that's why I wanted to ask first, just that question, yes or no. That's what I want to know. Because I told my wife that, and she said, well, why does it matter? I said, it matters because that sets a precedence of their honesty with me. It should be my decision whether or not I want to go home with them, whether I want to go on a second date with them, based on that telling me that right out the gate. Because if I said, you know what, so you have all your lady parts, everything's good down there, you're good, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, because sex does matter, right? Let's just face it, it does. For a man and a woman, it does matter. More so for a man, because trust me, after you get married, that fucking sex stops. But for most cases, most men would agree. 5 out of 6 men agree. But I honestly believe it should be my decision whether or not I want to continue that date or continue to have a relationship with that person. Now, go. Tell me your reason.
See, I think the problem comes into is like, it'd be, how do I say this gracefully?
Just call it. You're entitled to an opinion.
No, I know. What I'm saying is, it's like, I respect the person, that's gone through this process, that has the body dysmorphia, and they've overcome that through chemical castration and surgery, and they've built the body that they believe that they belong in. So at that point, I guess my biggest thing is, I'm struggling with this a little bit, because I'm not a big fan of where we've gotten to in society, where guys and girls that are same gender, sex oriented, have to introduce themselves with what they do in the bedroom. I'm a gay man. That's fantastic. Like, I don't care what you do in the bedroom. Just, be you. You know what I mean? Like that. Why do you have to announce what your sexual preference is as part of your identity when we first meet? Like, I like 93.7 hamburger meat, man. Like, it's like, it doesn't make any sense to me why we have to have our sexual orientation as part of our public persona and first meeting identity. So with that said, I think it'd be really sucky if a girl walks up and says, hi, I used to be a man. So I don't know how and when you'd bring that up in the conversation. Now, I'm assuming that you'd have to be smart enough to read the room, in that, my opinion. So if you are going into a biker bar as a hot woman, and you tell a woman that you tell a man that you're used to be a man after you've been making out, and you get your ass beat, I think that's just not using common sense. Does that make sense? Like, I think that's just putting yourself in harm's way. Like, so you'd have to read the room. And I do think, like, if you go to a guy, like, you can tell by the way people dress, by the way they act, and by the way they look, kind of what their belief system is. Kind of. There might be some variances there, but if you walk up to the guy, he's wearing a cross, he looks religious, and you dupe him, then shame on you, in my opinion, because you kind of know what his values are. And I think you should have more of a value conversation. And I think here's how it goes. So to answer your question, this is how I think the conversation would go. It'd be like you'd have a conversation, you buy a couple drinks, you have a couple drinks, you talk to the guy. He tells you that, I'm a God-fearing Christian man, and I go to church every Sunday, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And you know that his values do not align with your personal beliefs. Like if he's like, I don't believe in homosexuality, this, that, what have you. Then at that point, you don't need to tell him. You just need to walk away from the relationship because there's no chance of you converting him. Does that make sense? So I don't think he's going to
I'm gonna play devil's advocate here because there are a lot of people that go to church that are Christian bearing people that would literally be okay with that. And hear me out. That would
be okay dating.
Listen,
because number one,
I have seen it.
Then you're not even supposed to have premarital sex at that point.
Dude, I completely.
So therefore,
hypocrisy goes so far, is what I'm saying.
I'm saying there's so many different levels to it. And I'm saying that you don't need to start. That would be like, well, if you're not into doggy style, then you should start the conversation with that. Hi, my name's Linda.
I'm out of here.
I don't like doggy style. So just so you should know, what was your name?
I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand. I believe if you don't do,
my knees are bad too, so I don't like doggy style either.
It's kind of like I say all the time. It's kind of like when people say, "Well, I love oral, but I don't like giving it." Well, then fuck you, because you can't be stingy like that. You can't.
Yeah, but what I'm just saying is like I don't think that wouldn't need to be the opening lines of a conversation. It's like you should talk and find out about the person because you might just be able to be friends at that point. Correct. I think the problem is you're putting the cart before the horse, and I think if you're asking about like a one night stand, one night hookup. Maybe not. I mean, I disagree. If they can't, if you're never going to see the person again, and they can't tell any biologically difference between who you are now, who you say you are today, than who you were. Like if there's no like surprise, I have a penis. Like you know what I mean? Like it's like everything acts the way it does normally. Then the next day it's a one night stand. You never know the difference. I don't think you need to like preface it and be like, "You just fucked a man."
Well, what if both people are drinking?
They don't think they're men. They think they're women. So
what if both people are intoxicated?
Well, that's another problem then. I mean, I don't
know. Let's say one person's intoxicated.
Well, you know what my rule is. You know what my rule is on that situation.
Oh, I know what your rule is. That is if alcohol's involved, there's no sex that night.
Yeah,
I know that's your rule.
Yeah, so I mean that's my rule. So I'm the wrong person to ask for that because in my situation, every situation, if I'm drinking or the other person's drinking and it's a, I mean I'm married now, so it's slightly different because there's pre-established consent there. In my mind, I mean obviously like if she's,
you can have drinks and still go home with your wife.
Like my wife's like passed out and stuff like that, then it's still taking advantage of her if she doesn't want it. But
I agree.
If we both had one cocktail each, then it's not an issue. But like when I was dating her, if I had a drink, I wouldn't do it because there's just too many loopholes in that situation that causes problems. Because there's some states that have consent laws. If you have one drink, you can no longer give consent. So therefore, you could be,
a lot of states have that law.
You could be in a pickle really quick, and it may not be worth it. I mean, just wait till you're sober.
I'm with you.
If you had a great night. Try to pick it up later. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking for a quick fix, then you're in a one night stand situation. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you on that one. If alcohol is involved, especially now at my age.
Yeah. If either party, in my opinion, either party's drinking, then should be this hands off at that point. But people are entitled to do what they want to do and how they want to do it. And are they morally obligated? Yes. I would feel morally obligated because my thing is I would be masquerading as a woman. The difference is that these people actually believe they're women.
Correct.
They're not masquerading. It's not from.
No, they had a sex change. They went through the whole thing. Yes.
Externally looking in, it looks like they're masquerading, but in internally, I do 100% believe that they believe that they're a woman.
Correct. And they do.
Now, whether that's is or is not like a psychological disorder, that's above my pay grade. I'm not a psychologist. I can't talk on that. You know, it used to be considered body dysmorphia. It used to be a psychological condition. Then it turned into a gender identification process. Now I don't know where we stand on it because we're shifting, like the sand is shifting beneath our feet. So, you know, it just depends. You know, so that's kind of where I stand. It's like, if you think that you're a woman, and then there's no reason to tell a guy. I think where it would become a problem would definitely be if you're trying to have kids. Like, if you know the person wants to have kids and you can't have kids, and they're not up for adopting,
and you're leading them on thinking that you
and
have
you're
all
leading
the
them on for a relationship
to be able to have a kid. Correct.
Yeah,
I agree.
But I don't think the person should have to announce it. I mean, I don't think they should have to wear like a scarlet letter and walk in the room.
Well, nobody says that it's a scarlet letter. Let me back up for a second, because I don't really feel like it's a scarlet letter. I just feel like you should leave it to the individual to make a decision whether or not they want to date you or not. You know what I mean? If that's the case, like, you should. I feel like you would earn so much brownie points with me just by being honest, whether I wanted to do that with you or not, or wanted.
So would you? That's the question. Then
I was going to ask you the same question next. I was going to follow up with that. Would you date somebody that used to be a male that is a female?
No.
Now,
no.
Would you have sex with them?
No.
Okay, I'm right there with you. It's just not for me. It's just not something I think. If I got duped into it, I mean, I wouldn't hate myself for it, because I'd be like, you know what? They duped me. I just would fucking walk away and just be like, okay, I fucked a person that used to be a fucking male, but was basically a female from every other action I can think of. Because I got duped, but I wouldn't. I would choose not to as well. That's just me. That's my personal preference. And if somebody wants to date somebody, because there are people that date, trans women, and that's fine. My brother works with trans people, helping them go through their hormonal changes and things like that, just by using hormones and getting their surgeries, and they prior to getting their surgeries done. And, we've had many conversations on that in the past, and he catches a lot of heat from that community because he has the same feelings that we do, even though he's a gay male, So, that's where I think that you and I have talked about this subject today, and that's where we stand on it.
I mean, the problem is, I don't know. Like, I'm not educated enough in the topic, because I'm assuming that, much like, if you don't have testicles and you want to be a man, you have to take testosterone. And even if you do have testicles and they're not producing enough testosterone, you have to keep taking testosterone in order to keep those masculine traits.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it'd be the same way as a female. They would have to, as a male becoming female, they'd have to continue taking estrogen in order to maintain those female traits.
Yeah, you have to have estrogen.
Even if they've been castrated.
Correct.
Then my concerns would be, well, what does this do long term to your body? What's your survivability rate? There's so many overlying issues that would really,
I always like to use the word intangibles. There's so many intangibles that come into play that could go wrong, or maybe nothing at all. I just don't think we have enough testing. So I want to try to squeeze this in real quick if we can.
Oh yeah, I got all the time in the world.
So I know, but our listeners don't. So I know that we try to keep our show at a certain time length, but let's just go over a little bit here, and we'll touch on this subject. So, since we're already on it, so what do you think the age should be to say, okay, I can go ahead and have this elective surgery done? Because I've heard there's such an argument about right now with people saying, oh, my 9-year-old or my 8-year-old, the parent is letting that kid make its change. You know what I mean? My thing is, and I'll just give you my opinion on that. This is strictly an opinion of mine. I believe it should be like anything. Once you're considered an adult at 18, you can make a decision for your body on your own. Like, you can get a tattoo on your own. Like, you shouldn't be able to get a tattoo unless but then again, your parents can consent to it and you can get a tattoo. So there's kind of like a double-edged sword there. So I'm just curious what your thought is on that.
I don't know if I'm the right person to ask this question to.
Why?
I don't know, because I feel very opinionated on the topic.
Well, it is an opinion. That's why we're having a conversation about it. And it doesn't. I mean, people can't crucify you for having a fucking. They can, but it's not right. I mean, it's just like other people can have a right to their opinion. We can have a right to ours. I mean, the reality is, as a parent, I think that, you know, I would tell my kid to wait till you're 18 because that is you can't go back once you have done that. Like you can get a tattoo removed.
I'm in the field of thought that it is a psychological disorder.
Okay.
Body dysmorphia.
Okay.
I believe that through counseling and through learning to love yourself and be happy with who you are, that you can work through it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's society trying to push the outside to make the inside feel better.
Okay.
I think that parents that to me it's no different than was it oh my god, what's that thing called? Is it Munchheimer's? Oh my god, what's it called? Where you basically had to make your kids have all these diseases and sicknesses. You take them to the doctor and they have none of it. You're just do you know what I'm talking about?
I know. I can't think of the medical term, but I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. But
Oh my
anyways, to
God.
me, it's the same way. It's like I've seen videos where people are like, like both of my kids are like transvestites because the mom's a transvestite or she's gay, liberal. So she's pushing that on them because that's what her belief and her ideology is. And I think it's the same way with like a lot of things that get pushed onto your children based on what your beliefs are as the parent. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where a lot of that could arise. Like if you tell your kids, like for example, anytime that if you have a boy, anytime he wears pink and you give him more affection or more recognition or more attention, it's going to program him to think, oh, every time I wear this, people are going to like me better. You know what I mean? They're going to like me better because I'll get more attention. So I don't know how much of that's nature versus nurture. Like, I don't know if that's the kid going, I feel like a girl, or if that's because I feel like a girl makes, mommy and daddy proud of me because that's what they want me to be, or mommy and mommy, or daddy and daddy, whatever the situation is. Um, Again, I'm not qualified to talk on the subject. So, but my personal belief is that they're you should go through extensive counseling and psychology before you get to that point. I don't think that should be something that you just walk in and say, "Hey, I think I just want to be another gender today." Oh, fantastic! Here's how much it's going to be. Do you make X amount of money? No, I don't. Okay, it's paid for by the government. Congratulations. Here's your new identity. Here's your, go back out to the world, because I don't think that changing it's to me, I feel like it's not the end all be all cure that you expect it to be. And when you actually get through it, you realize nothing changed. And now you have more problems. You know what I mean? You have more stigmatas, you have more issues. And that's just from some of the people that I've watched talking about after transitioning, going the full surgery. And I'm talking about the people that just throw on some clothes and pretend, like that's different to me. I'm talking about the people that go through the whole, like, taking the hormones and the surgeries and stuff like that. You know, I don't know if they're necessarily happy or not when they're done. I know they have a high suicide rate. Um, so I don't know. It sucks that we're at a point in society where that is like an issue that we have to tell, that people are trying to push this onto our kids. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's the same as sexual, like, interest. I don't think that one's who you are and one is like what you prefer. But I don't know, man. It's a complicated topic that I think is definitely way above my pay grade.
I got you. I just was curious because my whole thing was it's the same thing. I truly do believe that whatever you do after 18, when you're no longer living in that parent's household, and you're considered an adult, then you can make the decision what you want to do with your body and with your life at that point.
Yeah.
The problem is that parents are allowing some of it to happen, and which
Well,
again,
no. What bothers me is okay. So what bothers me, and it's really pisses me off, is that there are teachers out there that are pushing this on the kids that
of
the
course,
parents don't
getting
want.
inside their head. Yeah.
Okay. And it's real easy to be like, the grass is green on the other side. Oh, you're having problems as a little girl. Like, oh, you know what would be better? Just be a little boy, and then all your problems go away. Look how great they have it. Little boys have it amazing. Blah 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 blah. And vice versa. And then you do the process, and you realize, wow, it's even shittier on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely do not
it's too late.
feel to the core of my being that any biological man should ever be allowed in women's locker rooms or women's sports. I mean, men's bathrooms have toilets and urinals, so you can have privacy in the bathroom stall. Guys won't mess with you, but I don't think it's a biological male should ever walk in. Now, if you've gone through the transitionary process,
oh yeah, that's a different story.
And you look like if you get undressed and you look biologically like a woman, and they can't physically tell, that's different. But if you walk in and you drop your pants and you're got a 9-inch hog on you, and you're around a bunch of like other girls,
what is your obsession with 9-inch hogs? You keep using 9-inch. I'm like going, why don't you go to like 12-inch hog or 6-inch hog? You have this magic number, 9-inch hog.
I just feel like a 3-incher wouldn't feel threatening. Like that would just be like a ha ha ha. Like
that's a big clit you got.
It's
there.
like no wonder you wanted a transition. You were almost there.
I was starting to wonder, man. You kept saying 9-inch hog. I was like, is that all it takes for you? I mean,
that'd be more than plenty. Like I wouldn't want more than that in a prison situation.
Yeah, you definitely wouldn't want to take a 10, 12. 13-inch
I'd rather have micro Marge, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you're like, so let me take a look at you real quick before we room in this room together. Eek. Oh hell no! Yeah, and then also he pulls out a fucking water bottle, out of his pants.
It's like I definitely. I mean, I don't know. I'd like to retain sphincter function.
Speaking of sphincter, let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like I don't know. I feel like we didn't help anybody with any of their problems, but that's not our problem to do.
It's not our problem to help you. At this point, you need to go talk to somebody. You're
gonna get me doxxed off the internet that I'm not even on.
Nah, man, you're entitled to an opinion. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I mean, we're both entitled to opinions. I mean, the reality is I believe. Do whatever makes you happy as long as it's within the guidelines of the law. Plain and simple. So whatever that law may be, or if there is certain laws or guidelines that are in place, then we have to follow them. I mean, plain and simple as that. So
see, I don't even know if I believe that anymore.
But you know what though, man? I mean, if that's the case, if you want a law change, you got to elect the right people.
Simple I don't think it should be about do what makes you happy. I think it should be do what makes society and the people around you better. Because happiness is so fucking selfish. It's such a me statement. I'm just gonna do what makes me fucking happy and fuck everybody else. No, what can we do to make society better? What can we do to make life better for the future generations, the people around us? I mean, sometimes that means making a little bit of short-term sacrifice, I mean, that's what our generations in the past used to do. They used to know how to, they made sacrifices so that way their kids and their kids' kids could have a better life. And now it's just like, oh, me, blah, blah, blah. I want to do this, do that, spend. It's like, okay, no. How about we chill a little bit? How about we look out for our fellow human being?
Right on, man.
And not make it all about me.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, guys, listen, don't forget, head over to our socials. It's _TheDailyBM on Instagram and I believe on TikTok the same. Or not TikTok, I'm sorry. Yeah, on TikTok as well. And then also you can find us on Facebook at The Daily BM. Mikey, got anything before we get out of here, bro?
Yeah.
9-inch. 9-inch nails. 9-inch wiener. 9-inch fodong.
that reminds me of that 9-inch nails new soundtrack for the movie Tron. Have you seen that yet?
Yeah, I saw it. Yes.
You saw the movie?
No, I haven't seen the movie. I saw the preview, but yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We can talk about that.
That was it. You just said 9-inch nails.
All right, guys. We'll see you on the flip side.
9-inch is just a good number. It's not double digits. It maxes out the single digit Q.
That's right, it does. All right, guys, we're out. Peace.